How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Misguided podcast, where we intend to guide you to a better future. My name is Michael Johnson.
My name is Joanne Rohan, and let's get right to it, man. We got a lot to talk about today. First off, how are you doing through all this? How are you, bro?
Man, I'm trying to stay strong, trying to cope with everything. It's definitely tough. It's definitely very hurtful. It's a really sad situation. I feel like we've been here before. I feel like we've been kind of stuck in this situation. Like it feels like things aren't or haven't been getting better. It just feels like things get kind of forgotten or kind of swept under the rug, or people just may forget about things. But it's just never felt like things have gotten better when it comes to this situation. So that's kind of the place where I'm at mentally. That I can't get over is just feeling like actual change is not being created. I feel like we're trying, but I feel like a lot of people are trying, but I just feel like I feel like nothing is really breaking through for any actual change, and that's what really frustrates me. But yeah. How are you feeling? What's on
I'm
your mind?
good. I'm good. I think today's important for us. As Black business owners, small business owners, to kind of talk about what's happening today in the world. So we're just gonna skip all the music talk and pretty much all the in quotations fluff. Get straight to the point.
Yeah, definitely.
Today. So I want to talk about pretty much the background of George Floyd. For those who don't know, who need to know more information. But I just kind of want to talk about the background and kind of what happened and why we're here today. And go from there, man. So George Floyd, 46 years old, from the 3rd Ward in Houston, about 6'6", was a star athlete in high school. I think he played a little college at Texas A&M, but couldn't verify that, didn't have enough time. But he was well known in the city. I mean, he was like really good friends with Steven Jackson. If you've seen. And he left behind a 6-year-old daughter named Roxy, who lived with her mother still in Houston. So that's just, who he was on the surface. But I've been hearing a lot of great stories from him as, things are coming up and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I guess we're going to kind of talk about the video. Did you watch the video by any chance?
To be honest, I still haven't been able to bring myself to watch it. I've seen pictures, and just off seeing the pictures today, or yesterday, I should say, when I was kind of doing more background research for us, knowing that we're gonna talk about it today, like just listening to. I actually heard one of the cop, and I'm blanking on his name. I want to say his last name's Tillman. I forget his first name, but he's from the Bay Area, and he's part of a Breaking Bridges project. He's a well-known cop who started that project, and he was basically describing the situation, and just hearing him describe it, I was tearing up. So I haven't.
He was like describing the video. It was just like a voice, but you didn't see it.
Exactly, and I haven't even just from that, I was tearing up, and I just haven't been able to watch the video. Like I have, my own trauma. I've went through a really tough situation not too long ago with the police that I won't get too deep into now. But you were one of the people I called when I was, when.
Yeah, I was actually surprised you remembered my number. I think that brought us definitely closer. I'd say. So yeah.
So I definitely haven't been able to watch the video yet. But go ahead, man.
So I was in the same boat. I didn't watch the video for a while. I was like, I'm not gonna watch it. I know it's floating around online. But I couldn't really understand it without seeing it.
Got you.
I didn't want to be out there protesting something that I haven't seen from my eyes.
Got you.
And kind of felt.
Right.
So the other night, at like 1 a.m. in the morning, 2 a.m. in the morning, it was the first night of all the protests.
Yeah.
And everything was happening. I was just on Twitter, like, just watching, and then I was like, I gotta see it. So I did search for like 45 minutes, couldn't find the video, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
couldn't find the video. Luckily, on YouTube, some guy had posted it just 2 hours before I found it.
Gotcha.
So I ended up watching it. It's about an 8-10 minute video. And yeah, I mean, it pretty much drew tears to my eyes. Like it was hard to watch, but I needed to watch it.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the video was pretty bad. I mean, as you're watching the video, all you can do is like scream and look at the officer's face.
Yeah.
And it's just stone cold, like, and there's a lot of people that are, you know, holding the phones and stuff, and they're screaming and stuff, and I'm just like, I wonder if there's like something else they can do. Like the video I was watching was a black man, and he was screaming at the officers.
Right.
And the crazy thing is, there was an Asian officer right there. I don't know if you know, there was an Asian officer, Tao Tung or something like that. That like in the beginning was like, you could tell he was like it was unsettling to him.
Yeah.
But he didn't do nothing. He just sat there and kept telling like the people to back off. And you could tell that like at first it was a little unsettling, but then he just let it go. Just kept letting it go, and that was the problem, is that he didn't do anything. But the black man, back to the point, the black man was yelling at the cop, and it was just like, damn, I wonder, like, you know, what if he could have done something, like, a little bit more. Not saying he's in the wrong or anything, but like, you know, what if he would have just like ran into the cop and ran off, right? To at least release some pressure.
Yeah.
But then that could also backfire, and then the cop gets more mad and puts more pressure on, you know, George Floyd's neck, or he catches the guy who bumped him off of him, and now he's doing the same thing to him. It's just like I all these scenarios were going in my mind, and I'm trying to figure out what can we do. Absolutely. And at that point, the black man yelling was just yelling, and it was just like hurting deep down inside, because it's like, that's all we can do.
Yeah.
You know, he might have a family. He didn't want to get involved. He didn't want to get arrested.
Right.
It's
and
crazy.
You like as a bystander, like, you want to do something, but like I would definitely have fear. Like I fear the police. Like I fear that they could take my life at any moment. So there's really nothing you can do. On the video that I was telling you about that I was watching, the police officer that I'm telling you about that started this program, and was describing the incident. Basically, he was saying that he just had an incident, I want to say last week, a week before it happened, and he said that the gentleman that they had, that they were attempting to arrest, was very aggressive. They said he was kicking the police cars. He was kicking it, trying to kick in windows at the police cars. He was resisting arrest. And he said what they did was, I believe they tied a rope around his legs, and made sure he was upright, because he was saying that he couldn't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying that he couldn't breathe, and so that they tied a rope around his legs, and they just sat him upright to make sure that he could breathe. And basically what he was the point he was trying to make was that, you know, there's so many other things you can do and put in place, but as a police officer, their job is to make sure that they preserve life. Mm-hmm. So in this situation, in this situation, I mean, this is, and we all have seen and we all know, this was just cold blood. Like, this was murder. You know what I'm saying? Like, he killed him in front of our eyes. Like, he had no intention of preserving this man's life. He didn't care. He's saying to you over and over that you can't breathe, and, you know, you're doing nothing about it when there's so much other things that you can do.
When you're watching the video, you literally see the life being sucked out of George. It's like, so it's sad. And as you're seeing this, you're seeing the cop, he'll look up at the camera and stare directly at the camera, not say anything, and then just look back down. And then, like, it looks like he's, like, applying more pressure as he's saying, I can't breathe. And, like, it's just so unsettling to watch it. Everyone's screaming around him, like, literally, because George was talking a lot. Like,
right.
Why are you doing this? I can't breathe. Just all you got to do is just lift your knee. Like, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, he's already tied up.
Yeah.
They had, like, 3 officers.
Right.
Already tied up. And he was like, I'll get in the car. He was saying, I'll get in the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the officer was just not listening. Like,
yeah.
Oh, my God. It's just, it breaks my heart, man. But,
yeah.
So that's pretty much the video. I'm not gonna advise anyone to go watch it. But
And yeah, I don't know if you saw the comments by the mayor of Mississippi when he basically said he said he said that he didn't see a problem with it. He said if you can talk, you can breathe.
oh wow, that was Mississippi, mayor.
The mayor of Mississippi, yeah. So that's the kind of the kind of minds that we're dealing with in America.
I don't think he'll be around too long after. That's an unreal statement.
Yeah,
my guy. Wow. Anyways,
that's the kind of leadership that we're dealing with.
yeah, that's kind of crazy. So that's the video. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's everywhere. I do want to get to what's been happening after the video, because I think that's extremely important when we're, going for change, and when we're, trying to change and be treated as equals.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where do we start, man? It's just been a lot of videos circulating. They've been everywhere, man. I've seen a video like I just showed you a minute ago from San Jose, where a dude was filming a police officer. The police officer snatched the guy's phone and just threw it.
Yeah.
And the guy just literally knocked the police officer out, like, cold.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, crazy. I've never seen it. That was like, oh man, that was like. Have you seen a video of when the basketball player knocked out that referee?
No, I haven't seen that.
Man, it's yeah, it was bad. But I've seen videos like that, to videos of 7 police officers jumping a protester for filming. I've seen one. It was actually San Jose as well. Man. It was San Jose as well, where you know how they line up and build like a barricade?
Yeah.
The guy was just going from cop to cop like this.
Yeah.
Filming. And one of the cops pushed him. The guy swung back, and all the cops joined in.
Man.
And beat the crap out of him. And we're seeing stuff like that. You brought up a good video, not a good video, but you brought up a video of a young girl pretty much getting pushed by an officer, and then she got shot in the head with a rubber bullet.
Yeah.
I mean, we're seeing videos like this everywhere. We're seeing videos of, businesses burned down, the town burning, cars.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not expressing, sympathy or anything for police, but I understand that they have to do something to protect themselves in the matters of protest, but what we're specifically talking about is, they're kind of, it seems like they're taking this as a green light for them to go overboard. You know what I'm saying? Like shooting point blank, like a rubber bullet into a woman's head, or there was a video of, cops that were tased two young students that were, because they were 13 minutes outside of curfew. They weren't even protesting. They were driving back home. You know what I'm saying? There's, videos of cops. Like, that wasn't the only person who got shot with a rubber bullet. There was another person who got shot with the rubber bullet as well, that's in critical condition. And, just seeing cops that are kind of green-lighting this and taking this as an opportunity for them to kind of just show their, show their true colors. There was another video that was going around where a cop was, they caught a New York cop throwing up a white power sign with his hands. Like, there's just so much stuff going around that it's like, you guys are just taking this as opportunity to pretty much wage war. And, that's...
Have you seen the video with they were shooting at the news reporters?
At the news reporters? No, I haven't seen that.
I'm gonna play that. So, they started shooting at news reporters. He's literally pointing at the camera.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's
so
crazy.
that was one video that's been circulating. There was another one where the black, or the whole crew, but the news reporter got arrested as he's talking about the
right,
news.
yeah,
Like that.
Yeah, a lot of people are
I've
talking
never
about
seen
one.
that.
That's ridiculous.
Bruh was like not even in the midst of it.
Yeah.
He was like outside of the barricade.
Right.
And just talking, didn't say anything bad about the cops.
Right.
Anything. He was just reporting on what was happening in the city.
Yeah.
And the cop was just like whispered to him, was like, you're under arrest. Started arresting him, and then the white people around him were like, what is happening? Like, cameraman still filming. Then they slowly just start arresting the rest of the crew members.
Wow.
They start arresting, not knowing that the camera's still filming. So one of the officers goes and puts the camera on the ground, and they're all still talking, and like,
yeah,
and it's just like, bruh.
Yeah, that's insane.
And so back to the point, it really is just like kind of making an excuse for them to like,
yeah,
go all full force on us.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just kind of crazy, man. We've seen some crazy videos. We've seen some good videos too, though, which we'll get to later.
Yeah.
But
for me, it's just like this, like, what's happening now is just like I don't really see like what it's do like this protesting, and like I understand people are fed up, but I don't know, a lot of the stuff we're seeing just doesn't seem like it's inciting much change or will. So that's what are your thoughts about the
I wanna talk to the people about the difference between a protest and a riot. There's been crazy things happening right now. People attacking innocent civilian cars. I've seen people in San Jose breaking windows on the freeway of just random cars, standing on cars, stopping the bridge, like just hurting each other.
Yeah.
As opposed to helping.
Right.
Just kind of using this using this as an excuse to release anger.
Yeah. And it's just like, but it's just such a slippery slope, because you protest silently, and people have a problem with it, nothing happens. So you resort to violence, and still like it backfires against you.
You see, what I'm saying? I think where we should draw the line is when you resort to violence, when you're not being heard by silence or silent protest, and you resort to violence. Why are you hurting your own people? Why are you tearing down small businesses in your community? Why are you attacking civilians? There could be kids in those cars. Me and Lucci were thinking, like, what if Zakai was in the car and they're trying to break the back window and stuff? I'm running people over. Like, that's
right.
I'm not just gonna sit there and let you guys vandalize our car when we didn't do shit. All we're doing is in traffic.
Right, and that's the mentality of a lot of people.
So like, why that violence? Fuck it. Go burn down the police station. Go burn down the cop cars. I don't give a fuck. They deserve it, not us.
Right.
Right. So I think that's like when we start to talk about this type of where do we draw the line and sand. Right. I think that's kind of where like I'm pushing towards, is like, okay, I get violence may be needed at times.
Right.
But don't hurt your own people. Like they say, why are you attacking Atlanta?
Yeah.
Why are you blowing up the city?
I know.
Lennox Mall. Why these businesses, like there's a video I'll play right now, but this is not from now, but it's very relevant because there are a lot of videos, but this was from the 1992 LA riots, all right? So pretty much this video, for those who it might be hard to hear, but it's an older black man yelling. His school that he built from the ground up was vandalized, computer stolen, everything. This was in the LA riots, and it's happening now. So that's why I wanted to play it.
Yeah.
But he's pretty much saying like, why? You know, I came from the ghetto, exactly where you're at. I was in the position. I saved my whole life for this. I built this. And for all you guys to take it down, for my own people to take it down.
Yeah.
Not the white folks. The white folks didn't do this, but you guys did.
Yeah.
And you guys are stealing back from us, and I am you. So it's like, and as black owners, you know, the other night I was thinking, yo, all my cars are rented out right now.
Right.
Where are these people? They could be in the middle of a riot. Now my cars are, you know, my business is fucked. Yeah. Just because they're out and about. Yeah. And so I really resonate with the guy. Yeah. And that's why I wanted to play that video, is because there has to be a fine line, you know, like. Yeah, and that's. And where is it?
I know I think that's where a lot of people, you know, like myself, that's struggle with, you know, because I'm like, you know, I feel for the other, like, I feel for small business owners. I feel for other people in our situations who care greatly about this situation, but it's like now their businesses are getting torn down or getting looted from, and people who are already in messed up situations as is because of COVID, who are already, you know, struggling to keep their business open, and now we have people that are, you know, who have no regard, that are, you know, not protesting for a protest is for a purpose, right? Mm-hmm. A riot is chaos, and we have a lot of people resorting to just chaos. We watched earlier, and we started this episode with, you know, the mayor of Atlanta speaking on her own city being pretty much burnt down when, you know, the majority of their officers are black. Mm-hmm. Where, you know, and she says in that video, she said T.I. and Killer Mike own 50% of the West Side. So you got prominent people of color who own real major amounts of real estate in your city. You have black politicians there. You have a city that's for all intents and purposes a majority black, and you got people rioting and burning that city down. So instances like that are, you know, it's like it's kind of like, you know, what is this helping? You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where, like, this stuff just gets really complicated, because you want to see change, you know. And at times you want to see change by any means necessary, because you feel like the old way isn't working. And we've been here so many times. Like, this is so, like, it's so repetitive, and it's like we're going in a circle. But then you don't want to see change come about by violence and at the expense of your own culture, your own businesses, your own people. And then it's just like people are just like, okay, what do we do then? And that's kind of where I'm at. Like, what do we do? Like, you know, I think that's where, like I said, a lot of people are struggling.
Like I said, for me, where the fine line is exactly what I said before. Like, don't vandalize, you know, your own people. If the cops are the ones doing this, and, you know, not all cops are bad, okay? Because we're gonna get to it, but there's cops been doing very great things, you know, in protest against their own people, is what we've been seeing. There's cops that, you know, black cops, all minorities, even some white cops that have been in the protest on the other side. Yeah. And so, not all cops are bad, but I'm saying, like, for the fine line is, if you're gonna, you know, want an excuse to release chaos or release your anger, don't go after the innocent. Don't go after your people. You know, go toward the police station, right? Protest out the police station. They start striking back, strike back there on their property. You wouldn't tell everyone to come fight you at your own house, right? Right. You tell them, you know, meet me after school, or, you know, like, you tell them to meet you elsewhere. You wouldn't bring the fight to your own house. Yeah. And I think for me, that's where the fine line is. Now, that may be hard for some people to hear. Some people might not like that answer. Yeah. You know, especially because I was almost a cop, so it's kind of hard for me to say that. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't want to see, you destroying black-owned businesses, any minority, not just black, man, just small businesses.
Yeah,
Don't destroy your
exactly.
community. It's not just black-owned businesses.
And there's a lot of small businesses being affected right now.
A lot.
You
And
know?
we were already affected.
Yeah.
We were already in a fucking pandemic.
Yeah.
So imagine, you just went 3 months with no goddamn income. You went in, you put your life more in debt because you had to take out, PPL loans, shit like that. And you put your life more in debt, all just for it to be literally torn down in one night over people protesting the wrong way. Not
Right.
even protesting, rioting the wrong way. Because if you were protesting, you'd be doing it the right way.
Right.
And there are ways to protest to make your voice loud.
Yeah.
And heard. And I think that's where we have to, guide the people in a better direction. I also, I've been hearing stories of where people are coming from outer cities, going into the city just to riot.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of the videos, so it's not just making this shit up. I've seen a lot of the videos where white people, let's say people coming from Walnut Creek going to Oakland just to riot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just to, not for a cause, just to go.
Yeah.
Let's see what it is.
Let's
I want to put this on Snap. I want to put this on Instagram story. Then they get in it. Then they're feeling their adrenaline's rushing. Now they want to break shit, right? Why? Because their mom took their PS4.
Yeah.
What are they fighting for?
Right.
So I'm seeing a lot of that, and I'll play a video, but I am seeing a lot of people, and a lot of white people break the windows at CVS, break the windows at Chase Bank in Oakland. It was mainly white people, and the black people were around yelling at the white people to stop. That is not what we are here for. Now, don't get me wrong. There has been a lot of black people breaking down businesses, like Dior. I seen a lot of black people running Dior, take shit for, take all the expensive shit. All the black people, it seems like they're going for the Lenox Mall, the, those type of chains.
Yeah.
And so it's on both sides. It's just, like I said, it's hard to find that fine line. It's like, what's the point of this? What are you making now? Now you got other people looking at us like, okay, this is really what y'all want to, y'all really want to be like animals. Like, you guys are out here in the streets.
Right.
Acting crazy.
Yeah, and that's where things get, like, it takes away from what the actual issue is, which is, like, the worst part of it, You make it about other things when, like, the focus is, like, we want justice for, we want justice for George Floyd. We want justice for other people who have been in George Floyd's situation. We want, that we're seeing every day. We want justice for police brutality and the fact that the police, are overly abusing their power and taking black lives literally every single day. But when we do things like this, it just makes it about so many other issues. And there's just so many layers that you pull back and pull back and pull back, and then you finally get back to what we're actually over here fighting for. So things like that are just, it's just things to think about when we're actually trying to create change. Like, we need to think about what we're actually doing and the effects that our actions are gonna have.
Yeah. I'm gonna play this video. This is the Walgreens on 14th Street in Oakland. Out of the people who all just went into that Walgreens, one person was black, and all she did was step in the door. So I don't know what she said.
Don't go inside that shit. It's not worth it. Whatever you fucking about to do, don't do it. Don't be stupid. It's not fucking worth it.
And 5 more white people just went into the building.
Fucking die or go to jail. You're supposed to be talking about Black Lives Matter, and you trying to loot this fucking place. You fucking hypocrites! You don't give a fuck about black lives! You don't give a fuck about black
Now the white
lives!
people are leaving because she's screaming.
You wanna fucking
I want to know who this woman is. This is amazing.
Who the fuck cares? We gonna die, you dumbass! That's the point! The black people gonna die! You're some bum-ass motherfucking protesters! Y'all got
People are still going in the stores. Not one black person. There's black people all around at the bus stop. So I think that's interesting to show because that right there just, it broke my heart watching that video and seeing that and kind of just understanding what's happening on the streets, because from our perspective, the people at home or the people watching the news, which I fucking hate the news, they're gonna turn it and make it seem like it's black protesters, or this is a protest about black people fighting for equality. Oh, but Chase burnt down. Walgreens is burnt down, but they're not, bringing these details into it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I wanted to share that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, man?
It's just like, I mean, I've heard the stories too, and we know that there's a lot of this stuff is like started by white protesters or white rioters. And it's just a ploy for them to, incite more violence and change the narrative that, okay, Black Lives Matter is, this is all just violence. So that's what I've been trying to, that's kind of my point on this is just that, I'm not saying like, it's black people that are causing the issue. I'm saying that, it's people that are, coming in and rioting for the wrong reasons, and it's taking away from what the actual issue is. And I just feel like, to create actual change, it's not going to be done through, it's not going to be done through creating chaos. That's my opinion. Others might have different. Others might think that, burning your city is what's going to
yeah, I keep hearing a lot of people saying you got to burn down the city to rebuild a new one. You got to burn down America to build a new America, because the America that we are in currently cannot change if we just keep fighting the way we've been fighting. It's kind of like you got to tear the flower out of the ground and then plant a new flower.
Yeah.
And that's people who support the riots. That's their way of thinking. I think the metaphor they're using is like literally too literal. If that makes sense. If that makes any sense. Why can't you just rewater the flower and then maybe, take off a couple stems?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Instead of pull the root out.
Yeah. I understand. I mean,
you can't burn down. If you burn down America, how are we gonna survive? Then we're gonna go into really survival mode.
Yeah.
As you've seen in a pandemic, we've gone into survival mode.
Right.
So could you imagine all the streets are burnt down? We're in like zombie apocalypse mode, and it's just a revolution.
Yeah.
That way.
Right. I mean, that's what some people want. I guess
they want to just start from ground zero, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy because I've actually seen some people I know that I like kind of looked up to for like black excellence.
Yeah.
Kind of insinuating that riots and this is the right way to do it.
Right. Right.
Which kind of upset me. And it's because I look to those people as like, black excellence, fighting for black rights. And then to see them like advocating for, violence and getting things done this way just kind of hurt. Yeah. That's pretty much, yeah. Right. That's my thoughts, man.
Yeah. I understand like both sides. My thing mainly is just to not. I just don't want what the cause is to be lost. That's the biggest thing. Like when you're tearing down a city and you're just doing stuff to loot and steal, like you're not doing anything for George Floyd. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's my point. Like don't get lost and make this about another issue. Make this about other issues. Like we're fighting for black lives, and I just want everybody to keep that at the forefront of their mind, regardless of what they're trying to do.
Yeah, I do want to switch gears and start going towards some positive stuff, man. You seen the video of the Amish community come out and support?
No, I haven't.
It's serious when the Amish community comes out of their house, because you never see them out, man. But man, I want to switch it up a little bit and head towards the positive side, because we have seen some slight positivity in this. But yeah, there's been everyone coming out, man. I said the Amish community, just everyone is supporting, showing their support. You know, whether it's through being out in the streets. You know, there's been a video. J. Cole's been out there.
Oh man.
Yeah, I love it. Ariana Grande, and just a lot of people, a lot of celebrities out there,
Yeah.
showing their support. You know, no security, just in there holding signs up, mask, everything.
For sure.
Peacefully
Yeah.
protesting. But I do want to get to Killer Mike's speech later. I'll probably play it at the end. But T.I. got to speak in Atlanta. You know, talking about their city. And it was kind of sad watching Killer Mike's emotions come out. You know, because his family comes from a police background.
Yeah, he's very passionate about it.
And he's very passionate about, and he has shown it, about equal rights and, you know, Black lives, and just, you know, the city, you know, and the state, you know, of the country. He's been very vocal over the years, and so he was kind of torn, you know. We'll get to it, but he didn't want to be there, and I just like seeing everyone react to what's happening has kind of put like a damper on me, because, you know, they're out there, they're fighting, and we're out here sitting at home, and it's like, what can I be doing right now to help besides go out there and kind of risk my life on the streets, you know, protesting? Because I could just be out there silent protesting while you guys are riding, but a cop sees me, shoots rubber bullets at me, or real bullets, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I lose my life just because I was there.
Yeah.
So it's like, what can I be doing? And that's why, you know, seeing these people talk and get how emotional they get, and I'm here sitting here getting emotional and just like trying to find like, what is there to do?
Yeah. It's like you want to create change, but you just don't know how. Like you don't know how to actively create change. Like you could sign petitions, and you could, you know, you can do things silently, and you know, make sure you're only spending your money on Black businesses, but you feel like you want to actually be out there doing something. And I wish I want to be out there too, but I mean, I honestly feel like it's tensions are way too high to be out there right now. I wouldn't recommend like my family or anybody close to me to go out there and protesting. Like I would fear for them if they were out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's a tough situation.
It's very true. That is very, very true. Any other positive things you've seen, kind of?
Yeah, I mean, I saw that the police in Flint, you know, went out and, you know, decided to go out and protest with the protesters. I thought that was really cool.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Flint, but I saw a couple cops, but a main Black cop who, there was a video that went viral of him explaining that the protesters over there, they're doing it wrong. And then he went and brought his police crew and protested with the people who were doing it right, and they sat and they were
that's amazing.
supporting them.
Yeah.
And he was like, the reason we arrested them is because they're doing it wrong. But I'm going to come over here and support you guys. And it went viral. Big Black dude seen, you know, taking protesters to, you know, the front of the line, like helping them.
Yeah.
Like, and it was amazing, man. You got to watch I'm sure it'll pop up sometime, but
that's really cool.
That's another positive thing. Let's see. I've seen small, but I've seen people get on cars, you know, stop traffic, and then you have some protesters jump on the car and start protesting and trying to break windows and shit. And then I've seen other protesters grab that person, drag their ass off the car, and say this is not the right way to do it, and then I've seen other people go around and wipe the car like clean, like and then apologize to the driver, like little shit like that. I was just like, I love those people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
Yeah.
the guy who ran up on the car was like some kid
Yeah.
holding a sign, just wanted to, you know, that's not the right way. And I was just like, yeah, you blocked off the freeway, and I just love to see the little acts like that. So I think that was positive.
Yeah.
Anything else, man?
Man, those
Any
are
other
the
positivity?
Man, those are the main things that I saw. You know, just the police officers that, you know, I really commend them for going in and protesting with other protesters over there in Flint. Like, you know, Flint has a bunch of their own issues with the, you know, obviously with the water situation and their lack of staffing on the police force. So they're probably, you know, they're probably feeling it a whole bunch over there. And you know, I commend them for stepping up and showing, you know, backing the people, backing what's right. And, you know, also the story that you mentioned, you know, I mean, that's amazing. Anytime you see officers that, you know, that are willing to jump in and, you know, I feel like that's big. You know, I feel like a lot of officers, you know, have a lot of pride, you know, and wanting to, you know, naturally take the side of the officers. But when you know, when you're big enough to say like, no, like, this is what's right.
This is
like
wrong.
That, like this
Yeah.
this man was murdered by a police officer. He was murdered, and, you know, he didn't deserve it, and you know,
For a $20 bill. We're not even gonna get to that though.
Yeah.
But
he deserves to be convicted, and he needs to spend the rest of his life in prison. That's
I don't even think they could take him to prison, bro. I don't think he's in prison right now. They said they arrested him. I think they took him to like a house, bro. Like, you can't take him to prison, bro. He's gonna die.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Like, bruh. Oh man. Yeah.
Man, but yeah. Yeah.
What? So like, I was trying to think, what would be a way to protest in like a you know, like celebrities? Okay, this is what I was thinking. Sorry, it's hard to like voice this. I was thinking like, what if all celebrities, you know, all black people with power, right? We're talking Jay-Z's, we're talking, you know, all the people in the higher chains, kind of just like
Funny you mentioned
stopped like I don't know, like stopped doing what they did. Like athletes stopped playing sports, you know. The black artists who are up there just stop messing with the labels, right? And we all just like kind of just stopped everything. How can the white man survive without our money? This is just a question. I'm not, you know what I mean?
Nah, I
was trying to figure out a way for us to like protest in that way.
They couldn't, but there's just not enough unity. Colin Kaepernick couldn't even get the entire NFL to kneel with them, so he couldn't get every black person to kneel with them. You mentioned Jay-Z. Jay-Z said that the movement was over. He said that we're done kneeling. He said that publicly. So there's not enough unity there.
Yeah.
So that's just not gonna happen.
Because I was thinking, you know, the white people rely on us. They need us. Like, they rely on our money. You know, in sports and rapping and in the music industry and okay. So I'm wondering if what type of, you know, moves celebrity can take as far as those kind of cutoffs. The Colin Kaepernicks. I'm wondering if everyone did what Colin Kaepernick did and stood their ground, and it's not about money anymore for them. Would anything change?
I think it would. I think it would create more change than what's being created now. Yeah.
Yeah. I've just been trying to like think of ways, you know, to be, you know, when the union goes on strike, you know, do they go to work? No, they sit outside and they don't do shit. And then it's kind of like, the union shut down. The workers, you know, they're not going to work now. Now the higher ups are, you know, reliant on them, and they have to make some type of change to get those people back to work.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
As we've seen with a lot of union protests and a lot of, you know, protests like that, they just stop going. They stop doing that thing, and then it makes the people up there kind of respond. I don't know. I was just throwing out thoughts, man. It's hard. I just, you know, this is the shit I think about like before I go to bed, like, or I stay up just trying to figure out like what would be a way. And it's not my job or anything to figure this out, but
Right.
I just think that rioting is not the right way. So I just was trying to think of some other shit. I want to, we want to come here and guide you in the right direction and
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the things that we were saying that, I think and like I mentioned it earlier, like it's things that, that I've been doing. I mean, just going online, signing petitions that help support George Floyd. Like if you go to Sean King's Instagram, SHAUN.
Oh, yeah,
King,
I heard he's been doing
he's huge. You could go on. He has a link right there. You can join his team, and he'll keep sending you updates and links on how you could support by just helping and signing petitions. One thing we talked about is just making sure that because we can't. There's a lot of this stuff that we can't control. But what we can control is where we spend our money, making sure we're only spending our money at black businesses. One of the places that you can go to WeBuyBlack.com. That will pretty much all the sellers on that site are black, so you'd be supporting black businesses. Yeah, spending your money, that's something that you can control, and that's a way that you can help uplift the black community and silently protest against institutionalizing systemic racism by supporting your own communities, your own minority communities. Those are two small ways that you can help.
I want to list a couple other websites for black businesses. So there's movin.com, MOOVIN. There's supportblackowned.com, and there is, I don't know how to pronounce this, Isania, IZANIA.com. Those are some websites that will direct you in supporting black-owned businesses. If you need some deodorant, just go to one of those, type in deodorant, and it'll show you where you can buy and support black people and black families, who are trying to build generational wealth. And yeah, I think that is probably a very small but huge leap in helping the situation.
Yeah,
it's something
absolutely.
very small but can go a long way.
It can definitely go a long way, especially with the support of multiple people.
Yeah.
If you create a movement out of it, it'll definitely go a long way.
That is facts. Man, so how do we wrap this up, man? Anything you wanna share, shed light on? Anything we missed? Cause I know it's a lot, and it's kind of like, I don't know. It may seem like all over the place because that's pretty much how our feelings are right now. So
Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
There's no you can't structure this type of podcast, and so yeah, I don't really know how to wrap this up, man. I want to say everyone stay safe out there. So is the pandemic over, or is this the new pandemic?
This is a pandemic that's...
Because I don't think this is stopping. I think now everyone's woke and gonna... I mean, maybe the white kids might go back to their
This isn't a
homes.
new pandemic. Like, this is a pandemic that we've been dealing with for,
No, I'm saying, like,
4 years.
is the... Now, okay, there's multiple black men, killed by police every year, but now it seems like this is just gone too far and people are really, really putting their foot down. So is this the beginning of something new that we haven't seen yet? I mean, we've seen it with, everyone else. Like, it almost started with Ahmaud Arbery. That,
Yeah, the runner.
Yeah, so, I don't know, it seems crazy right now. And I don't think it's going to slow down anytime soon. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Only time will tell. I just pray for everybody who's experienced loss, everybody who's dealing with a tough time, who's having a hard time coping with everything, because it definitely is a lot, and it definitely is like, for a lot of people live with this heaviness every day, not just when it comes up in the media, and there's a lot of people who go unnamed that are killed every year. There's a lot of families who are dealing with losses constantly of their children that are killed by, you know, their black children and black family members that are killed by police officers without reason. There's a lot of stories that go untold, and I just pray for everybody. Pray for the families. I pray for George Floyd's family. I pray for Ahmed's family. You know, and the countless people that we hear about in the media: Oscar Grant, Philando Castile, Sandra Bland, etc., etc. You know, our lives matter. And you know, there's a bunch of stories that need to be told, and there's a bunch of people that, you know, we need justice for. And I hope that people do their best to create change and use their voice in the most positive way, so that we can create actual change, to go ahead and support Black Lives Against Police Brutality.
That's facts. That's facts. And I do want to share one small thing you can do to help in times like this is after a riot, you know, I've seen a lot of people going the next day and cleaning up, helping those small businesses and stuff. So if you're listening and you know, like you know, a meetup that's happening to go clean up the streets of Oakland and stuff like that, let us know, because I'd for sure go out and, you know, take my Sunday or whatever to go help and clean, or after work during the week. But I did want to share that because I did see a lot of good things the day after. I saw a lot of people cleaning up, you know, boarding up windows, and just a lot of random people clearing out the streets because they understand too, and they are with us. Like we said, the goal of this is to bring us together, not tear us apart. And although some people may think tearing us apart is what it takes to bring us together, it's just an opinion. So I want to wrap up right there. This is the Hella Misguided podcast. You can follow us at the Hella Misguided podcast on all social media. You can email us, themisguidedpod@gmail.com. Anything else?
That's it for today.
The Misguided podcast, where we intend to guide you to a better future. We out.